If you look at the Chicago property market, it's absolutely getting hammered. Chicago properties are basically not selling. Several of these high-end units, nobody wants it. Well, there's one location in the U.S. where they're doing really well, which is Denver. And one of the reasons why is Denver in the beginning didn't want to become a sanctuary city. Denver is actually pretty normal, and they actually spent a lot of money on themselves. Chicago, on the other hand, started doing the migrant stuff very, very early on, and now they're frankly going broke. Not to mention, there's high taxes, and no wonder. Real estate in Chicago is literally the worst, not just in the US, but around the world. So if we go to Denver right now and check out some of the real estate prices, it is very, very expensive. These are not cheap homes at all. And if you just look at very average units like this one, 4-bed, 2-bath, not even a great looking unit on the outskirts of Denver is $675,000. These are hyper expensive units, and Denver's real estate market and great prices usually come because a lot of businesses are moving here, great business environment, and overall seems to be a very quiet and very well organized city. And this is why property prices are so high, and this is why so many people are going here. Right now, we got Denver becoming a sanctuary city. So kiss these high-end prices goodbye. And we could be seeing a decade-long drop in prices because Denver will be playing the migrant crisis for quite some time. And Denver is going broke as shelters have become overcrowded. Denver also cannot afford these shelters. With a massive inflow of migrants coming in, they're now asking rental property owners to specifically rent out to migrants. And by the way, Denver rent is extremely expensive, and we live in a capitalist market. So we're going to be sending these units to people who could pay top dollar. The government says they're going to be paying up to $2,000, which barely isn't even enough to cover basic rent in Denver. Denver is super expensive. There's even arguments saying that just give each migrant $1,000 and they could simply go out and rent a unit themselves. Guys, you can't even find a box in Denver that could rent out for $1,000. And since there's 40,000 migrants in Denver, that's almost $500 million. Denver is truly on the brink of collapse. With the city going broke, city running out of money, they're now begging property owners, just everyday landlords and businessmen, to please come in and rent. And now Douglas County is planning measures to prevent buses from dropping off migrants, not because they're meanies, not because Lakewood residents are bad. It's because they simply can't take in this sort of traffic. Have you guys seen what's going on in Chicago and New York City? It's collapsing. Businesses are leaving. They can't afford all the shelters, and now migrants are sleeping on the streets. And it's just getting worse. Not to mention prices of many different goods and services for the migrants are super expensive. Taxpayers are being fleeced all the time, and those cities are not spending billions or millions on improving their own infrastructure or making their city nice. If you go to Florida, Texas, Nevada, they spent billions of dollars on themselves and make their cities very, very good for local businesses. Chicago, New York, Denver, no, especially Denver. They have the highest migrant per capita, and they cannot stand this anymore. Even Lakewood residents are now done. They do not want to be a sanctuary city. They're right next to Denver, and same thing for Aurora. They do not want buses and buses of migrants going to the city. Like I said, they just simply cannot take this sort of traffic. And look into this. Denver is already cutting city employees' hours down to 0 in order to support the migrants. A lot of Denver workers will be losing all their hours, including lifeguards, front desk workers, coaches. The DMV has shorter hours. We're also seeing many people who live paycheck to paycheck in Denver. They are now out of a job, and trying to find a new job in Denver is extremely difficult, especially now migrants are also trying to fight for the same jobs. And what now? What if the person is the only breadwinner of the family? Do they get any sort of financial support? Absolutely not, since every single penny that these taxpayers pay are going towards the migrant crisis. And wealthier owners, wealthier residents who have several properties in Denver, who want to do business in Denver, suddenly find themselves to be in a situation where many of their properties may just become just migrant shelters. Denver is collapsing. The situation isn't great at all, especially in terms of real estate. Get ready to see prices absolutely tank, and get ready to see a massive decline in the number of businesses in the city. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment below, and see you later.